What's good, YouTube? We are back again with another video. In today's video, we're going to show you the Reggie White, the GOAT of defensive ends. To me, my favorite all-time defensive ends is him and Bruce Smith. There's so many defensive ends now that are really, really good. You have Bosa, you have TJ Watt, you have JJ Watt. I mean, the list goes on. But out of that era, that 90s era, this guy was just, just a badass, man. He's like an all-time great for sure. A lot of his damage was done on the Eagles, but of course he actually did a lot of his damage also as well on the Packers. He won a Super Bowl with the Packers. He didn't win with Philadelphia, but this is one of the greatest jerseys of all time, right? This is the Kelly Green Eagles jersey. All he pressed on other than the Jerome Brown patch we will get into later. But this is one of the dopest, Eagles jerseys you can have. He's a legend. He's probably the greatest defensive end of all time. Of course, you can make an argument and debate. For the most part, the consensus is this guy is top of defensive ends, right? Just to get into this jersey a little bit more, this is representing the 1992 season. You do have the Jerome Brown patch, right? And what's dope about this patch is that you get a lot of like dazzle and nice stitching and just a beautiful patch. And Jerome Brown was a part of this defense, which made it more terrifying. And I believe he passed away. I don't know exactly if it was a car accident. I really don't know. So if you guys do know, down below. But he did pass away. He was a part of this team at one point. And this is to commemorate Jerome Brown, of course. And this team was stellar, man. You had Seth Joyner. You had Randall Cunningham. Reggie White. Like, you had a bunch of studs on this team. I think most of his damage was done on the Eagles, right? He went to the Packers afterwards, and I know we spoke about it briefly, and he won a championship on the 1996 Packers team, and he was still really good. I think most of his damage and his domination was done on the Eagles. Everything is screen print on other than the patch. Unfortunately, with screen print, you do get some issues on this number here. On the 2, on the front specifically, there's some wrinkling going on, and I try to fold it and make sure that it's preserved in the best way. You have perforations all throughout. You do get the old school NFL logo on the front. Very clean. It's funny because the Jets are really close to this style now. So the Jets have black outlining with the white twill. It's not necessarily a Kelly green, but it's a green that's more like a forest green. Right now the Eagles have like a midnight green. It's a completely different green than what you see here. But I think this is a really just nice touch. In fact, the Eagles are now going to their throwbacks, and their throwbacks kind of represent this era. So that's pretty dope, right? One of my favorite parts about this one and the Nike one that just came out is the eagle on the sleeve, man. You have the eagle, holding the football, which is pretty cool, right? You get the spandex on the sides of the jersey. A typical jersey that you would see back in the day. I'm rocking the Jets shirt, man. Fuck, this is such a disappointing year for the Jets already. I thought we could be a playoff team. And, of course, Aaron Rodgers, 4 plays in, blows his whole shit out. It was hard even watching that game, finishing that game. Surprising that we even won that game because honestly, the whole stadium was deflated. The players were deflated. The Jets, man, it's tough. It's tough to be a Jet fan sometimes. And it sucks sometimes. And it really does. Like, I'm a Jet, Met, Nick. Thanks to my dad back in 69, following my dad's footsteps, following my brother's footsteps. Back on that, like, I don't want to give you too much sad shit. So this is just a really dope jersey. This is a size 48. I will put it on so you can see how it looks. I can tell you my size. I am built a little differently than your normal 230, 5'7" guy. So keep that in the back of your head when you are trying to think about what size fits you. Stay tuned, all right? So this is how it looks with me in it. This is a size 48. I just love the way size 48s fit on me personally. Especially Mitchell and Ness. It just fits perfect. It's not too big. It's not too much. Like, I can still wear something underneath it without it looking too crazy. This is how I like the jersey. This is how I like how it fits. Right? You got Reggie White on the back. I mean, that's a thumbnail right here. So we may just add that for a thumbnail. We have the big Eagles logo on the side. If I wanted to, I could kind of play with the arms a little bit. if I wanted to, you know. But for the most part, this is how I like to wear the jerseys. This is how I like for them to look. This is a size 48, guys. So if you want to compare it to Nike Elites, I do wear a size 48 in the Nike Elite as well. But this is a little bit more room. Right? Also keep in mind this has spandex on the side. Now the Nike Elite has a stretch to it, so that's nice. It is a little bit of a slimmer cut on the shoulders and arms. But that's how this looks. One thing to keep in mind, it is heat pressed on. This is replicating how it was back in 1992. Me personally, I do like stitching better, but this is what the closest thing it was back then. That's how Mitchell & Ness operates. Reggie White, one of the greatest of all time. On that note, I hope you guys have a good one. We out. Peace.